Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Always trying to put me down on the ground, but I never be jealous. get out the way. In their minds, screw up with me, boy. Don't go crying. In their minds, come on, every boy, there's a fight. In their minds.
A pleasant evening to all. It's United City FC and Taguig squaring off in our Saturday night showdown right here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. It's Philippines Football League action, and thank you very much for joining us on our various platforms. Claro Manzano here alongside Jing Hamlang, and it's going to be another epic one. It's been a crazy Saturday. Ang tanong dito, will we add more fuel to the fire in a good way? Grabe, no?
I can't wait for this one. United City FC contra sa Taguig FC. It's a massive matchup between two teams that initially when the season started, inisip natin magiging title challengers ang dalawang to. And although things have not panned out in that way this season, this is a fascinating matchup between two teams that are really becoming more seasoned as this season has gone along. You know, nakikita na natin yung best form nila, and they're coming together at a great time.
We can say that these teams are not in title contention, but there's a lot still up for grabs here. We're going to get in even more detail as we progress. We'll eventually do so when we take a look at the standings. That's why there's still so much here. Yung United City, as we see, cannot be champions anymore, but want to finish strong. Yung Taguig, on the other hand, because of the loss of Cebu earlier, Taguig have a mathematical chance at getting an AFC spot by virtue of finishing second place should Kaya be champion. But dikit-dikit pa rin dito, Jing. Although teams are not all in title contention anymore, there's still so much action.
100%. But, you know, in order to get to that second spot, ang Taguig kailangan perfect ang magiging remainder of the season nila. Meanwhile, United City, meron silang napakalaking oportunidad dito na masigurado that they finish above Taguig, or at least have it in their own hands to finish above Taguig. But it all has to rely on 3 points here today against their rival in the 6th spot.
Simple as this, just get that W as we'll take a look at our two squads dito muna sa United. They've been on a roll as of late, Jing. We've been asking questions throughout the course of the season if their defense has what it takes, kasi parang yan yung weak link. But this could be the time for the likes of Coach Ramon and his crew to tighten things up.
They've gotten 7 points out of the 9 available on their last 3 matches, and they've got a lot of veterans in this squad. You've got Ricky Sendra, you've got Mark Hartman, so many reliable heads to to rely upon. Pero ang pinaka-interesting dito sa UCFC is in the last few games, they've been relying on the young guns, particularly in defense and in midfield, and they have been stepping up to the plate, Claro. And today, they've got a huge test going up against a side that is highly experienced with, you know, all kinds of international experience. So talagang makikita natin ano ba talagang kakayanan ng UCFC, not just in this match in terms of their youngsters, but moving forward in the seasons to come. These are the individuals that they will be relying upon.
That's right. We took a look again at veterans, the likes of Ricky Sendra, Paulo Bugas, pero yung mga youngsters are the likes of Ziggy Tanico and Diego Aspiras, as we will jump ship. On the other hand, to Taguig FC, we said it earlier, with what we said, they've been in fine form, but what else is there to see?
Well, you know, 9 points, 33 goals scored, 2 conceded in their last 3 outings. They're hitting this incredible run as they finish off their season. Pero ang tanong sa kanila is, how do they perform in the big games? 3 points garnered out of an available 12 in the matches against the top 4. So makikita natin that they are good enough to draw, but can they get over the line? Can they get maximum points against a top side? And United City certainly falls under that category.
And there you go. This one is just setting things up. Both teams need that win. Let's see if it will also lead to some heated action. A big return will be Kevin Ingreso also, because he did miss the last game, from what I recall, was suspension. But it wasn't a problem again. A deep squad also, veterans from the UFL days, right? May pagka-nostalgia sometimes when we go through that list or roster ng Taguig FC.
It's so important for Taguig to finish this season on a high. We talked about the new partnerships that they have with the city government and big plans in store for them. So kailangan ipagpatuloy nila yung momentum nila. And this may be sort of like a game that people are overlooking dahil nga laban ng mga kupunan in between 5 and 6th in the standing right now. But this is a key match in trying to gauge the future of these two teams in their particular shape and form.
Right, just to add to what you said with one Taguig, there's also plans of that stadium, right?
Yeah.
That's great to hear for Philippine football as we are going to take it to the pitch for our walk-in again. It's United City FC and one Taguig FC.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let us welcome the teams of United City FC and One Taguig FC.
Here we go. It's on to our match officials. For this match, we do see Mick John Pineda, our referee, si Lareli Balila at Segundo Saluria ay ang linesmen o assistants. Si Chris Mark Nanyola ay ang fourth official, si Gerardo Andres ay ang referee assessor, and si Cristina Ramos ay ang ating match commissioner. We do see our respective team captains, si Ricky Sendra for United City and Kevin Ingreso, Philippines International, the skipper here for one Taguig. So much experience between these two men.
100%, two of the finest central midfielders. Able to control a game, able to put the ball in the back of the net. Two players that we're going to keep a close eye on today.
And here we have our starting lineup, Jing, and there were some things, of course, that surprised you a little bit.
No Mark Hartman. Yan ang pinakamalaking absence dito para sa kupunan ni Coach Ramon Tribu Liech. I keep mixing up his name. Tribu Liech.
There you go.
But a big test for Diego Aspiras, for Taninco. The young guys get an opportunity to go up against some real veterans in this side of one Taguig.
As we will head over to the other side for our starting lineup, and your eyes just popped open, right, when we were reviewing the team sheets earlier.
This is the strongest one Taguig side you could find. Custodio back in the mix alongside Taher, the way they've always envisioned. Gallantes and Dutosme alongside Ingreso and Begandom, anchoring the midfield. Shimomura up top, Amita, Shrock, Hiraishi, lots of firepower para sa kupunan ni Coach Giovanni Villagracia.
So much firepower. So Kasashi Momura, in fact, is now the second top scorer in this league so far. So will he find the shooting boots in this one? We saw him flame out a little bit during the course of the season, but here's another man, Ariel Inyukam. And he kicks off this game. It's United City in their black uniforms with some white trim. Yung One Taguig, on the other hand, are in their dark orange. Clara Manzano here alongside Jing Hamlang, your commentators for this one.
Loose pass there from Aspiras. And already a great chance
but not quite there for Shimomura, but you could see Kevin Ingreso was applauding them for that effort. 30 seconds into the game, they got something.
One of the players that we need to keep an eye on, young man, Diego Aspiras, in a midfield battle against some very fine tacticians and players there. And early on, perhaps, medyo nakaramdam tayo ng konting nerves mula kay Aspiras.
This will be the barometer. This will be that experience for him. Aspiras, when I recall, was supposed to play in the UAP, but by jumping here to the Pro League, this could work wonders for him. Because we know Jing overseas, that's normally how it works. Batang-bata, derecho sa professional ranks.
Well, there's many ways to go about your career, but Diego Aspiras felt that going pro would be the one that would move him forward in the quickest possible manner. And he's getting an opportunity to play against some very high-level opposition. So, you know, it might be the right move for him. And certainly this is going to be a great experience for him.
Playing against the best, or to be the best, you gotta play against the best, as we know. Another thing, actually, is that Darlton Digha is playing right back for United City FC, not his usual midfield position. We up there against Stefan Schrock as we speak.
Yeah, I expect him to get in a more advanced role, at least engage up high. But you're right, he is going to be in a more defensive position today. But that's one of the benefits of having one Darlton Digha. He is a versatile character. He can play center of midfield, he can play in the wing, and you can put him at right back. We'll see how he fares against a potent one Taguig attack.
Darlton Digha was so good for Adamson University, as we know. Opted to turn pro. Tapos, siya na lang daw coach din ng Adamson, right? When we recall. That's how good he is. And he just changed everything in Adamson. Yung kultura, everything. He brought in a high caliber goalkeeper coach. His teammate now, Henry Bandeken.
That's right, that's right. What a trajectory of a career for Darlton Digha. Adamson player, Adamson coach, and now professional for one of the top sides in the Philippines Football League.
As there is this corner kick for Taguig. They mean business when it's Stefan Schrock to take it. A service from Schrocky! And they get the opener right here! Tsukasa Shimomura. Back in the day, one longtime teammate of Schrocky was Bienve Marañon. Schrocky to Bienve. And now it's Schrocky to Tsukasa.
Can't stop scoring at the moment. The Japanese striker, wonderful header. Glancing that near post. Maximizing a great corner kick from Stefan Schrock. And that's what he does. He puts the ball in dangerous areas, and Tsukasa doing fantastically well to attack that.
Stefan Schrock just racked up assist number 15 this season. He's been on a tear as of late. He's been in and out of the squad. But Schrocky providing when it matters here.
Wow, so early in the game. One Taguig have opened things up. Perfect start.
You were talking about that nerves earlier with United City FC, and it's very possible that's what just got them right now. One Taguig again, a new team, pero yung mga muka, kilala na natin eh.
That's right. When you look at their squad, this is a seasoned lineup that they have out there on the pitch. In fact, medyo parang nagkabaliktad nga. And United City, of course, before they went on their hiatus, we knew them as a star-studded side with veterans all across their starting 11 and in their substitutes bench. They've opted for a different approach this time around, but One Taguig has taken up that space and really filled their squad with these stars, no? And Stefan Schrock, of course, one of them. And, they've been putting them to good use as of late.
That's a perfect way to put it. As we see UCFC with possession, but it's in their defensive third. There's that press from One Taguig, and they win it right here. Begandom. So Nano hit the deck. Despite his small size, it is not often that happens. As it is over now to Sendra. Over to Digha. There was Kurt Diza making a run for it. And Ricky Sendra racked up 5 goals in the last 2 games for them. And with his off-field ventures, yung pangalan na daw niya, the businessman eh. I remember Ivan Gayares saying that.
He loves it here in the Philippines, and he's, continuously growing deeper and deeper roots into the country. But he likes to do his business on the pitch, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
And scoring goals is amongst the currency in which he deals, even though he is a central midfield player. And Ricky Sendra, certainly a man that you need to mark, especially in set pieces. He's a very good finisher.
Kaya sabi din namin last time, Saturday and Sunday, that's normally a non-working day, right? It's a working day, especially for a guy like Ricky Sendra.
Malaki ang responsibilidad niya ngayong araw dahil nga kailangan nila makakuha ng control sa gitna ng pitch, and it's not going to be easy alongside Begandom and Ingreso as their opposition. No? So it's going to be very important that as the veteran alongside Diego Aspiras and Paulo Bugas, that he play his role in calming this midfield that as of the moment itong United City, hindi sila makahawak ng bola ng matagal.
As we see Zabihi Taher is eventually the man who is on the floor, as we see here.
I think Newcomb was entitled to go for the ball there, and he certainly went for the ball. Nothing malicious from him. In fact, akala ko nga yung follow-through ng right foot was the issue there, pero Taher was holding on to the opposite leg. So no harm done in that exchange. The whistle going the way of one Taguig.
As they knocked it over to Custodio. Shraki. Nano. Diagonal ball. Naoto. Not the best of touches there, but he appeared to give the thumbs up.
Not something that is going to be replayed or played back, but Stefan Schrock basically fired that ball into Nano Amita, and he stopped that ball dead. That's the type of quality and technique that Nano Amita has in that final third.
Sendra doesn't appear to be happy with that last call. And speaking of Nano, we know that he does his homework. If he's not playing, he's at the stadium watching the games. If he's not at the stadium, he's at the live stream. Ingreso. This one was loose. Nor Hidayat just storming forward now, trying to help out. But that leaves them exposed at the back. There's a player just went to the back to help them out.
Good work mula kay Hiraishi. Siya yung bumalik mula sa Taguig para matigil yung atake ni Nur Hidayat.
So one Taguig will resume on the other end. But this throw in had too much power. We'd also like to remind you that you are catching this game on pfl.org.ph, Blast TV, Premier Football, and Premier Sports. As Henry Bandiken will resume play. No clean sheet to add today, but they definitely like to go for the win. That's what matters. Bandiken with 6 clean sheets. And counting this season, he is in joint second place with the likes of Walid Biru and Freddy Cortez.
May isang buwan na atang hindi nagko-concede itong United City. So masakit para sa kanila that they have gone behind here, and to make matters worse, no, napakaaga pa sa larong to. So they are on an uphill climb here to start things off.
That slow start might just hound them, as this ball was cleared by Darlton Digga.
Si Coach Ramon Tribuliet, napapakamot na lang ng ulo dahil ang dami mga loose passes that's getting them into trouble here. This time naman mula kay Taninko on the opposite side. Fair to him that he is playing on the opposite side that we normally see him, but they need to get their bearings quickly here.
As Quincy Camarad sent this one to the middle. And with you mentioning loose passes, Jing, you covered that UCFC Davao game, and you were mentioning that was something that bothered or hounded UCFC, also loose passing at the back.
At yan pa naman ang pinakaayaw ni Coach Ramon dahil ang style niya ay gusto niya ma-dominate yung bola. Gusto niyang ma-pressure yung kabilang side dahil nasa-suffocate sila na wala silang bola, wala silang magawa, nape-pen in sila sa loob ng half nila. Hindi mo magagawa yan kapag pinamimigay mo yung bola ng cheap. And as of the moment, no, kailangan nilang i-improve yung aspect na yan.
Cheap because it's an unforced error. Pretty much self-inflicted.
Exactly.
As Yerek Gallantes gives it over to Shraki. Gallantes has been stellar in this PFL season. They give it away here. And it is an equalizer. Troy Limbo providing big time again here for United City. They conceded an early goal, but it is game on here because they did equalize.
Quality from Troy Limbo. Speaking of loose passes, one to get guilty of one there and in the worst possible spot right in front of their own box, and Troy Limbo gobbled it up and buried it in style.
His third goal of the season. He found his shooting boots late, but peaking at the right time. I think it took a deflection off the hair.
Loose touch from Kevin Ingreso. Limbo right on top of him. Took a touch, but it was already heading into that far corner. Big goal for Troy Limbo in this match.
Loose touch from Kevin Ingreso. How often do we hear that? How often do we say that?
That is a rarity. That is for sure.
So Troy Limbo giving UCFC the equalizer. The man from Cagayan de Oro, he was also a U22, U23 international for the Philippines.
Quite a time to be scoring goals, Claro, with the head coach of the men's team, Tom St. Fit, up in the box today.
As there's this ball forward now. They got the stop, but it went to Sendra, and the foul is on Begondom there. Sendra, the Argentinian, down. And with what you said with Coach Tom St. Fit in the stands, in the VIP box watching, the Tuloy FC boys were balling. I think they heard he was watching the game.
Not too many complaints, really. There shouldn't have been from Milet Begandom. He got a lot of the leg there. Sender doing well to get his body in the way or in between the ball.
Now, how do you see this free kick developing, Jing?
Well, they've got three options, it looks like. Three interested parties, and Limbo has given way. Paulo Bugas, if you follow him on TikTok, you would know he's got some capabilities on a set piece.
Oh, he's been showing it since his UAAP days. But this one was hit by the wall.
Actually, it looked like it struck an arm, so they're moving up a few meters forward to the edge of the box.
Talk about the flow in the game here. It's going well for UCFC. Breaks out the game.
Bugas unable to get the height that was needed to get over the wall. At biglang ang dami bigla na may gustong kumuha ng free kick na to, and si Ricky Sendra mukhang mananalo sa diskusyon. Nur Hidayat, Kurt Dizon initially also interested.
There's the likes of Nano, of course, in front, just making sure they could delay as much as they could. But here's the wall to beat that Quincy Camrad is setting up. It's a five-man wall right here. Referee McJohn Pineda with some reminders. I think he's clarifying that handball. Well, here's Ricky Sendra this time around, stepping up to the plate. Earlier, it was Paulo Bugas. Sendra takes it, but it sails over the bar.
Hit the roof of the net there. What far post? Not far away from the Argentinian.
Sandra, the leader of UCFC, or one of the leaders in goals. He is the outright leader in assists. Ariel Ingukam has 11 for them, their lead striker. This one just skied by Clarino. Looks like Custodio wasn't able to get that one now. It's Troy Limbo on the left. This is what he likes to do. Looks like he was trying to just switch sides, but Diga gets this one. A little back and forth. Sharky will try to get them out. When they got the ball to Shraki, all of a sudden you could just see UCFC head into that midfield block. They stopped pressing.
Well, he's a tricky customer, Stefan Schrock. The last thing you want to do is make the mistake of pressing him and having him bypass you.
Here comes the cross now, but Shimomura skies this one. I think he was asking for a shirt pull. Lahat na nagsusumbong sa ref ngayong gabi.
Not going to get it in this instance. Sure, there was an arm across. Never going to get that. Decent defending there mula kay Miggy Clarino.
Diga to Sendra. Sendra,
Hey.
I think he nutmegged Begandom there.
Oh no.
I think you confirmed it with your reaction.
Oh no. Ricky's got a wry smile on his face. Have a look at this.
Whew.
Oh no.
No goals for that though, as we know, but you do get one over the other in your matchup.
No, he's just made a highlight out of Milad there.
And as you say, putting people on the wrong end of a highlight.
Ricky's showing that he's still, he can ball. That's for sure.
And Spiras over to Boga, still going through the left. Ngukam. Spiras played it back. There was that pressure again here. The press from Taguig, winning it back for them.
Coach Ramon doing jump ups here on the touchline. It's one aspect right now of his side that needs to be tightened up. If Diego Aspiras can get a grip on this game, and we've seen him play against quality opposition where he's gotten his bearings quickly, and he's very, very effective at linking play and keeping their attack going. Sa ngayon, medyo wala pa, klaro.
Possibly some time here for him to grow into the game, or maybe a slow start. But UCFC win a corner kick. That spell was started because of that quick throw-in. So great initiative from them. And it will be Kurt Dizon. Dizon starting at his usual wing position. We did see him play right back in at least one of the games also recently. Let's see how this one will go. It's an outswinger. Quincy secured it, but it seemed a little loose from him initially. But the flag was up. Mukhang offside ang tawag dito.
Actually, it can't be
Or a
offside
foul.
off of the corner. So I believe it went out, maybe. The initial, it looked like the assistant was signaling for a goal kick. Dahil nga left footer si Kurt Dizon, baka nag-swerve out
Too
muna
much.
bago pumasok.
But because it was so deep, ayun. My apologies for mixing that up, but it's over now. Shimomura laying deep, flicked it to Shiraki. Hugas to Sendra. Still Ricky Sendra, got past two. And there was Taher to make the denial.
Well anticipated by the defender.
20 minutes into this one already, one goal apiece. Possession at 56-44. Pretty much even here between the two teams. Tsukasa Shimomura again gave us the opener, but Troy Limbo just answered back right here for United. That's why we are on level terms.
There's a reason why we were so excited for this game, Claro. And they're showing us why. Wala pa nga tayo sa kalahati ng ating unang period in this game.
It was two quality goals that we got to witness from the two teams. But again, with the way these two teams have been able to perform, they're clearly, without a doubt, inside the top 10 for retention in the PFL.
That is a certainty, but they're not happy with that. They want to be in the top 4 at least. And both sides with an opportunity to finish in that top 4. Sabi mo nga kanina at the top of the broadcast, one Taguig nga may oportunidad pang maging top 2. So they have high expectations. They're going to need to get a result here tonight in order to keep those dreams alive.
That's right. Taguig again still have a mathematical chance at finishing second. There's a potential AFC spot again. These are two licensed teams actually who are competing. Shimomura flick this one, but it's eventually out. Close one. Not sure if Nano got a touch there.
He just missed it. Great run. Not what you want to see from your goalkeeper there. Taking a swipe at it with his foot instead of staying big and blocking the space. Pero medyo nakawala dun si Henry Bandeken.
Not a veteran here in the local circuit again. Bandeken, a Cameroonian. Naoto lost this one. Bugas. Quickly now, it's over to the left. Some space in the middle, that's why they send it to Sendra. Kurt Dizon in the middle. Darlton Digga, will he cross? But that ball came off there, as we saw. It's a corner kick for United.
Both players doing the right thing. Ganda ng pagkabasa ni Gallantes, pero Digha winning the corner kick.
As there's the cross sent in, but denied by Taher. Shraki kept it in, but it's United's ball. Taninko. Nur Hidayat playing this one over the top. And they eventually get a body, the defending, or such defending by Custodio. You see, UCFC, they seem to just up their level here of energy in this spell. They've been very sharp with the ball, and they lose it as I say that. So commentators curse.
Oh, you're right. They're getting to grips with the game and starting to be able to express themselves. All they need to do is to manage those little moments where they're not under pressure at pinamimigay nila yung bola. If they can cut that out, the fluidity will definitely help and they can start building momentum.
As it still stays with Taguig. This team again filled with veterans in this from the Philippine football scene and from the national team. Tosme appeared to lose this one. Troy Limbo just running into another brick wall.
On several occasions now where Tosme has been caught out or has given the ball away cheaply. It's a very precarious position. Dahil nandyan si Limbo na handang i-take advantage ang mga slip-ups na yan.
Now let's see how UCFC will roll the dice. Momentum has somewhat shifted their way with the way things have been going so far. They got lovely there. Lovely link up with Dizon at first. Things getting physical. As Gallantes ended up on the ground.
It's one of the aspects of the game that I've been most impressed with in terms of Eric Gallantes this 2024 season. He has not shied away, not one bit, from the physical side of things, and he has been less affected by it. In fact, he has been inviting the physicality in the matches that he's been involved, and he has been a real solid pickup para sa Taguig.
As Naoto kept this one in. Over to his compatriot, but Tsukasa couldn't frame this one.
Kahit sa galing ni Tsukasa, wala ka masyado magagawa dun sa sitwasyon na yun. Ang taas ng bola, napakaraming UCFC players around him. He did well to get his head to the ball, but really very little threat in that.
This one going back and forth. And eventually there's a call on the ground. This one will go Taguig's way. Custodio over to Shiraki. Gallantes. And with what you were saying about Eric Gallantes, parang kahapon lang yung sa young prospect for the Philippine national team and the youth national team.
And he was in and around the squad for the recent excursion out to Vietnam and Indonesia. He's knocking on the door and making his way into the national team. And his performances for his side have warranted that. And that's one thing that has been a real feature this season, is that pinapanood talaga very closely ang mga larong to ng national team coaching staff. There's tabs being kept on everyone here.
And of course, the basis for calling up players to the national teams, yung mga standouts here and there. Just a high level. As here was that last play. Play resumed now from the back. Some head tennis. Naoto versus Bugas. Bugas, the victor there. Bandiken, but there's the probing run. Clarino just got it. Sendra connects with Dizon. Dizon gives it back. Sendra takes it, but it's into the gloves of Quincy Camarade. He seemed to hesitate at a moment before taking that shot.
Fluid move mula sa United City. Perhaps could have taken an option to pass it, but andyan na yung oportunidad sa harap ng goal. Certainly some distance on that one, and Ricky Sendra was trying to finesse that into the far corner.
Shots at 5-3 now, favoring Taguig. With his game all even.
And as you mentioned, Claro, it's United City that are on the ascendancy here. After going down early, the reaction has been very positive from them.
As it's played back to Camarade. The number one, of course, off Taguig. But couldn't connect with Nano. Because Darlton Digga was there. Kurt Dizon found space, but eventually got clipped by Shiraki.
It's great to see Kurt Dizon back on the pitch, healthy. He's always a tricky and creative player. Ito nakikita natin.
And the reason why Kurt Dizon was out for some time was due to injury. So it's a free kick now. No problem for Camarade. Also a former Philippines Youth International himself. He did get call-ups also to the senior team years back. And we'd like to remind you that Star Polaris is the official match ball of the Philippines Football League.
He's had a pretty good season with one Taguig. Itong si Quincy Camerad. He's looked a lot more assured. The aspects of his game that he's been looking to work on.
So I'll throw in here, yung masakit in the perspective of Taguig is that it was unforced. They were not on the same page. In Ngukam, Custodio got the clearance. Shimomura. I think Shraki just hit it to safety there, or was he hoping that the likes of Naoto would be there?
Hideyoshi in a very withdrawn position. With the ball with them, he was probably expecting that Hideyoshi would be in that region where he hit the ball.
Aspiras getting his pocket picked by a veteran. Ingreso getting inside. Referee took no interest there. Ingreso quite furious at that one. We'll try to get that on replay early in a bit.
Definitely would love to see if there is contact inside the box there.
Dizon, he seemed to regain his confidence quickly, just to add to what you said. Sometimes we have these players, or see some guys. There's a nasty collision here from the looks of it. And the yellow's out. First of the game here is on Darton Diga, and Custodio is letting Diga hear it.
Definitely a lot of force behind that one mula kay Darton Digha. I believe he was actually expecting to make contact with the ball here. Mila, though, tricky, able to push the ball away in the nick of time. His first foul Darlton has committed in this game. But he's earned the yellow. You can't blame the referee for pulling out the card.
High stakes in this one again. These two teams just bunched together in the standings, as we know. United City number 5 again with 26 points. One Taguig sit right below with 24, but Taguig have a match on hand here, as Begandom is just slow. Still bothered by that.
I was going to say he's going to feel that, but he's already feeling it. That was a painful one. And when you look at Darlton Digha, man's a specimen, right? He looks a forceful figure. So, you know, when he swings that leg of his, it's going to pack a bit of power.
You see that build, of course, of Darlton Digha. Medyo sanay nga ako, coach yung tawag ko sa kanya. It's over at the back now. Begandom. Shraki. There's Galliante still getting through now inside the box. Will he find a teammate? But Bandiken. Gotta stop there. Got to cover his near post. More promising stuff here from Taguig.
Great work mula kay Iri Galliantes. Coming from that left back position, accustomed to getting forward and getting involved in the attack. And this is where they scored from.
A corner from Shraki. And that's how he picked up assist number 15 of the season. Who will be the recipient of this? Or will United get the stop? We'll find out. Ingreso. He'll try to stabilize things. Taninko. Ngukam. Over to Bugas. There's space on the other end because of that corner kick. Teams haven't been able to organize, as Camerad eventually gets this and denies that ball into his box.
Assured goalkeeping. A nice outlet mula kay Camerad.
But Nano just trying to bring it up quickly and gets hit. I have a question. Is that the only way to stop Nano?
Sometimes it is. That's for sure.
FEU teammates back in the day. So Paulo Bugas knows, of course.
Siguro nakuha nga ni Arnel Amita yung mga tricks na yan mula kay Paulo Bugas.
Racking up championships over in the UAAP level as Rocky cut this one back. Nano, but the defense closing him down. Cuts it back again. Naoto gets denied. A shot again. UCFC just locking down Taguig, and they'll try to answer back. This one appearing to be clean. No call from the referee. They played it out. Tahir.
Poor pass mula kay Bugas in the transition. And Taher, siya na mismo naglabas ng bola dahil alam niyang kailangan niya ng treatment after taking the contact.
And he missed majority of the season, as we know, due to injury. He did play in the last game. He scored a hat-trick of his own also against Garelli. The first one was nasty. A flick to the back of the net.
Taninko came in hot there, fully committed against Taher.
And that full speed, of course, as Taninko's gotta have a lot of force because of his youth.
He's coming in full steam. You gotta love the commitment from the young man. Taher, though, putting in a great timed slide.
As there's this long ball. And Nur Hidayat just sent it to his goalkeeper. I also believe Nur Hidayat's the first Southeast Asian player outside the Philippines to play here in the PFL.
I'm racking my brain right now, but you may be right, Claro. Certainly the first from Indonesia.
And this was the very stadium where he picked up silver with Indonesia at the U22 level. That was in the Southeast Asian Games. As we have Ariel Ngukam down on the right side of your screen. Also a man down for Taguig.
Players dropping like flies here. The toss me down. Newcomb took quite a shot. It's not easy to bring down a man of his stature. He's been cleaned out there by Hiraishi.
Are we witnessing that physicality, Jing, because of the high stakes in this game?
100%. Both teams with very passionate players on the pitch.
Ngukam still keeps it for them. Bugas, that lovely ball linking up in Ngukam again. What a stop for Taguig, courtesy of Taher. But it's a corner kick that they will have to deal with. Here's another look.
And what you gotta love about this game is that it's being played in toe-to-toe fashion.
6 minutes until injury time right here in the first half. One apiece again here. Troy Limbo equalized. Tsukasa Shimomura gave us the opener. Taguig led at first, but it was UCFC who answered back. 6 minutes remaining, Jing. What are your expectations?
Well, I expect it to continue the way it's going, you know. Kumbaga, ang dalawang kupunan nito may agreement sila. Square tayo. Dito lang tayo. We're gonna go at it, and the best man will win, essentially. And right now we're seeing it's going back and forth. And United City, after going down early, have really gotten themselves into the game in a big way. And just as they're getting the advantage, Taguig will come over and start creating chances of their own. So it's a very even matchup right now, Claro. And it's about the team with more composure as of the moment. Dahil lang nakikita natin, the team who makes the most mistakes is the one that is likely to lose. And both teams have looked very, very sharp in punishing one another when there is a bit of looseness in the execution.
Battle again with top teams. Like what we said sa mga ibang matchups, quality football that we are witnessing right here. Quality goals, quality build-up, great technical ability from these guys on the pitch. They're just storming now through on the left. Great progress here from UCFC up until that point. Might will stay with them. And Matt Silva also of United. Their number one continues to be injured. What a luxury having a guy like Henry Bandican, as we were saying. Game in, game out here. Such a quality guy who can start in any other PFL team.
Very important, the man in between the sticks. Having somebody you can trust as the last line changes the disposition of your back line in a big way.
And what some players do say, because they have their certain goalkeepers playing, they're more confident in attacking because they know their goalkeeper, he's got their back.
That's right. And contrastly, the opposite is true. Kapag ang goalkeeper ay hindi mo trusted, there's all kinds of extra actions that are taken by the back line that could put you under pressure.
So Dizon knocked it to the middle. And Sandra getting decked by Amita.
Former teammates.
Just last season.
You see Amita quick to apologize to Ricky Sendra. Two players that are very passionate in the game, and Arnel Amita medyo boil over ang kanyang passion dun. You see here, he's coming strong against Diego Aspiras. Got enough with the ball, but this time didn't get enough of it. In fact, didn't get any of it against Ricky Sendra there.
He was involved in those last two collisions. Earlier, yung kay Aspiras, UCFC played it quickly. Bugas, the service. UCFC still have a chance to get it here. Want a gig. Not out of the clear, or they're defending third. Shraki. They're saying to put the ball out because of the man down. It's Aspiras, as we see. He's definitely shaken up. I think the veterans get the memo when you're dealing with the younger players. Bring out that physicality or kulang, as we know.
You know, it's a sign of respect, but it's also a rite of passage for the young players. You come in to the pro leagues, it's a man's game. There's no way around that. And if you don't get yourself accustomed to the level of physicality, the speed of the play, you're going to get eaten alive. That's the nature of the sport. And it's the job of the veterans to keep that standard, or to show that standard. And it's the job of the young ones to get accustomed to that speed and that physicality. Ito yung coming together kanina. Hanap ni Kevin Ingreso yung penalty. It looked like there was contact, but it was certainly outside of the box, if any. In the end, walang pito. Wala kay referee Mick John Pineda.
There we go. We just got to take a look at that. That was earlier in the game. But it's still level again. 1-1. The opener of Tsukasa Shimomura off the Stefan Schrock assist was cancelled out by Troy Limbo. And we do have 4 minutes of additional time in the first half, as confirmed by fourth official Chris Mark Nanyola. Both teams definitely have to sneak in another one. You have to say safety first, as we saw Ngokam get clipped, not just clipped. Did the hair even ride on his back?
We've seen some games where Newcomb hasn't really had an opportunity to express himself. In this match, he's proving a threat. He's picking up some dangerous positions and he's using his body well to ensure that the hair is busy in that back line.
I think the hair was trying to get a piggyback right there. As Galiantes cleared it.
Oh no. Darlton. He's walking a tightrope here.
This was right during the Galiantes clearance. Was that correct?
His foot was a little high, and that's the reason why the bench of Taguig was reacting. He's done it well initially, but he's hit it too strongly. It wasn't even that high, honestly.
But studs up, right? But not like the whole leg was
The studs were showing a little
all the
bit.
way up.
But of course, if you can try to get a man advantage, Taguig sniffing that he might be on the edge. Makes John Pineda keeping his cool.
Sniffing, fishing, all of the above. Mind games too, right? As we know.
You gotta apply pressure when you can.
It's the game of chess. A psychological game. Shraki. Custodio. Milad. Tried to use his footwork but got dispossessed by Newcomb. There's Shraki behind trying to support.
Dilly-dallying on the ball there, Milad Begandom. Newcomb doing well to punish all that hesitation inside their own half. Not easy for a big man like that to sneak up on you, but Newcomb able to do it.
He's got 11 goals again for a reason. And thanks to his efforts, they eventually got an opportunity like this. Kamrad punches it out. Troy Limbo. Nano Amita running into him. It's still with Limbo now. As there's this cross. Will Dizon keep it in? And that's the case. But it's denied now. Clarino. And sent to safety for Taguig.
Several opportunities to get a good ball into the box. Just unable to make a connection there, United City.
UCFC just trying to break them down now. And if we take a look at our shots, it's actually only 3 according to our statistics here for UCFC. But it's possible. Not too many shots, but those chances and half chances getting the ball in the attacking third of the field.
They've certainly been venturing inside the box of Taguig on a more regular basis. So when you look at the two teams, they are the more dangerous of the two sides.
But in contrast for the shots of Taguig, it's at 7 with 4 on target as we eventually have the halftime whistle from our referee, Mick John Pineda. First 45 minutes done and dusted, a total of 2 goals. It's 1 each. Tsukasa Shimomura again with the opener, scoring at the 3rd minute. He took advantage of the shaky UCFC defense, but Troy Limbo equalized 9 minutes later. And that's how we find ourselves at the break. Well, we'll be back after this short break to bring you our halftime statistics and analysis. Don't go away.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Here we are, level at the halftime break in your Philippines Football League action between United City FC and Taguig. Tsukasa Shimomura struck early again in the 3rd minute, but 9 minutes later, Troy Limbo just leveled the scoreline as we speak, and it's been that back and forth of sorts, but UCFC eventually got some control towards the end of the first half. Here's the opener again, Shraki to Shimomura. What a half, Jane. Quality football.
Almost meant to be that they were going to score early. Could have scored in the first sequence, in fact. But Troy Limbo, quick to respond para sa United City. Pouncing on a rare mistake mula kay Kevin Ingreso, and a great finish from the winger.
As we saw there, that was the last goal of the first half. But so much action. Both teams knocking on the door. UCFC and some promising set pieces, free kicks. You name them. Things got difficult, or things got physical in this game. Of course, signs that this is a must-win for both teams. Nana couldn't score in that end, but there's the likes of Darlton Digga getting busy. Ricky Sandra doing his thing in the midfield, but Quincy Camrad has been able to come up with quality stops off his own. But this one, very interesting.
Been a little bit of everything, you know. We've seen some great technique. Sabi mo, napaka-physical din na laro. It's been back and forth between the two teams. A lot of action inside the penalty boxes of both sides. And you see here a couple of occasions where Taguig got into some very dangerous positions inside the box, and the cutbacks, munti ka na matake advantage. But Taguig so far have not been able to get back onto the score sheet. And we're seeing here some of the physical action that you were talking about, Claro.
A lot here. We actually saw one yellow card each given out here from our statistics that was shown, and we are eventually going to get going with that. Shots 3-7, Jing, and what does the picture paint right here?
And when you're looking at the highlights back, yes, you know, the shots definitely go in the way of one Taguig, but the possession and in terms of amount of time inside each other's final third, I would say that United City was actually on the ascendancy and finished on top in that first half. But still all to play for and really difficult to tell kung anong makikita natin. But one thing is for sure, there's going to be a little bit of a change in personnel. Isa sa mga key absentees natin sa starting lineup ng United City ay makikita natin na pumasok dito in the final 45. And we'll see how a veteran of his caliber can change things up.
As we see, the man pictured himself, Mark Hartman, in the technical area. And there's Troy Limbo, making his way out to the pitch. And we would like to remind you that we are powered by 8 Cuts Burgers, the official catering partner of the Philippines Football League. Onion rings, your perfect go-to again as the community looks for it. Game in and game out. You can order your food right here, just outside the grandstand of the Rizal Memorial Stadium. But it is free to catch the action over at the bleachers, but it's 150 pesos to join us right here, and 50 pesos actually from each ticket will be given to your team of choice.
That's a great value for your money. Come out here every weekend, catch 2 to 3 games a day. Oh, it's fantastic stuff, and the action that we've been seeing has been very entertaining. And nakikita natin sa labang ganito, United City and one Taguig, it's been a fantastic watch.
And just to end, of course, with that and the tickets, that's for the whole day already. It comes out 150 pesos total for 3 games, 50 pesos each. That's quite a lot, as we will be witnessing our subs in this one.
So one of the substitutions almost forced mula kay Coach Ramon Tribuliech dahil walking the tightrope na talaga si Darlton Digha. And so inilabas na siya dito. Can't afford to go a man down against this one Taguig side who've also made a change of their own.
That's right, we do see Andres Aldeguer stepping on for Milad Begandom. Begandom really got banged up in that first 45 minutes. The chess match begins here between Coach Ramon and Coach Giovanni. Andres Aldeguer's dad is actually in attendance. Dino, of course, who was a pro basketball player. So yung mga anak ng pro basketball players, may Aldeguer, may Gayoso. Dito naman sa PFL, di ba? The two played back in the day in the Pro League. Sila JB Gayoso and Dino Aldeguer.
Naging mga striker ang mga anak nila.
Oo nga, no? Scorers talaga.
And these changes really come not really as a surprise, no? Milad Begandom perhaps failed to deliver to the heights that he is normally accustomed to.
But this long ball was played quickly. Naoto. They just couldn't quite capitalize there. But Aldeguer did get on the score sheet. One of the many scorers in that record-setting game of one Taguig versus Garelli.
Perhaps that chance just coming a little too early para kay Andres Aldeguer. Got into a great position there, but I believe that was his first touch outside of the kickoff there, so probably doesn't have his shooting boots on yet.
We normally hear may mga warm-up, right? Team, like during the game, players will just try to feel themselves into it. Some guys, though, just have that magic touch. First touch, goal ka agad. That's not often, of course, as there are showers here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. This could potentially shake things up.
Becoming a bit of a trend, though, seeing one Taguig start off very well. could see their intention right from the get-go. Inside the half of United City, so many of their players ready to take advantage.
But with what you're saying, they start strong, pero siguro ang tanong, can they sustain it and just control the game all the way? But it's been nip and tuck here. UCFC have been able to come up with dangerous spells of their own also. Hence, 1-1, we're unable to just separate these teams. But again, it's the league format, so this can end as a draw. But these guys want the win, as we know. The draw will do more harm than good, as we've said over the course of the season. It's Dizon. Bugas slithering through.
Good defending from the Tosme.
And the Tosme, as we know, also did have a credible stint with Ceres back in the day. As Quincy Camarad will resume play. He has that option to play it short, but opts to distribute it here. Aldeguer, a tall player, as we know, about 6'1", if I recall correctly.
Changes the dynamic of the attack. Para sa Taguig, they have a out-and-out target man now in Andres Aldeguer. Tsukasa, not exactly a player that you could launch it to on a regular basis.
Shimomura takes it, but it sails just over.
So close from the Japanese striker. This is where he thrives. He'll pop up in that pocket of space. Had the room in front of him. All he had to do was pick out the spot in the goal, and he's missed it.
He was that close, or even that far, from getting goal number 19. But just for reference, the leader in goal scorers this season is Harvey Gayoso of Kaya FC Iloilo. He's got 22.
Incredible season for Harvey Gayoso. Did it for a long time on the collegiate stage. Now he's showing the highest level, what he's capable of.
As there's a chance from the left wing. Shraki has given some magic also from this side of the pitch.
And when the game is tight like this, yung mga may abilidad na magbigay ng konting magic sa laro ang madalas nagdidikta.
But another close one here. Just went in front of the goal, but outside again. Just 4 minutes in, Taguig trying to carry on that strong start.
It's a great delivery from Stefan Schrock. You gotta love that.
Aldeguer in disbelief. He seemed to be quite close there.
He's done well. Just wasn't able to attack the ball enough. Saw the ball mula kay Stefan Schrock, not too much height on it, had plenty of pace. So kailangan mong gawin is to make contact with the ball and direct it on target. You don't have to, crane your neck or try to generate power. Nandun na lahat sa delivery.
And there you go, of course. Parang yan yung mga basics for kids to practice. The Tosme. Aldeguer to chase versus Nur Hidayat. There's also the likes of Clarino. A fall here. Taguig begging for a penalty. Not begging, but in danger of asking for one.
Red
But
card.
a straight red card here. What a dramatic spell. The shout for a penalty here for Taguig. And play was stopped. Mick John Pineda giving the straight red. And Kevin Ingreso just missed their last game, which was due to suspension also.
Wow, a straight red. Even Mark Hartman looks confused.
But referee Mick John Pineda seems very firm there with his decision.
Let's take a look at what caused the frustration mula kay Kevin Ingreso. Oof.
Oh, that's why.
Certainly. Oh, not the words, but a slight push mula kay Kevin Ingreso. And Mick John Pineda not tolerating any contact from the Taguig captain.
And this could just flip the table, flip the script, flip the switch, everything.
Has a word and pushes the referee a little bit there. And Mick John, nah, not having it.
Sending his message there.
But was it a penalty? Did Diego Aspiras get the ball? That is the question there.
But at the end, of course, the referee's decision sticks.
And certainly Taguig's bench felt that Aldeguer was fouled inside the box. He had done well to get into that dangerous position. He rolled the ball. Aspiras came in hot. There was contact, but did Aspiras get a touch to the ball? And that's important. That's going to be an incident that is going to get dissected and looked at. And wow, this game has been turned in a big way.
We normally see Kevin Ingreso just a locked-in guy, but maybe as the captain, he's been through scenarios like that. I do remember he got carded also. Him and Sato got into that altercation when Taguig and Davao played against each other. But we also have this between Custodio and Nukam.
Kakainitan na, klaro.
I mean, we do not want these things to happen, but objectively speaking, we know and can feel sometimes na mangyayari mga ganito with the high stakes in the game, the intensity. These guys just want it.
It's getting spicier and spicier on the pitch here.
This one just being sorted out. We are going to get a UCFC ball in here from Hartman on the right wing.
Mick John's getting a report from his fourth official, and it's something for him to consider whether or not extra action needs to be taken. Perhaps.
Oh, Ingreso was on the bench. As we know, Jing, pag red card, diretso dapat sa locker room.
That's right.
The ball in. Nobody there to meet it for United. But they have another guy down. Quincy Camarad is furious. I think he believes that there should have been a call there with Taher, who is down.
Taher saying that he was clipped on the ankle. Quincy Camarad perhaps also should thank his lucky stars. There was no one in a black shirt that was able to connect with that ball as he was caught in no man's land.
Here's the replay.
He's come out to collect and he's pulled himself back into the line. Aspiras getting entangled with Taher, but it didn't look like there was much there. Claro, did you see anything?
Didn't see anything there, actually. Might have been on his own. Let's see if we can get a look later on.
There's a lot of irate characters on the pitch right now.
There's been so much action today, right? Even in Cebu. We gotta say it, Jing. We got to see Matt Nieras play goalkeeper for Stallion. And he's their starting left back. And the reason why we're chuckling, of course, is because that's not his usual position. And we know the guy, a colleague of ours. Sits with Limbo on the left now. Trying to shake and bake up against Dutosme. But Quincy gets this one. Custodio did well to cover in Nukam. When he wanted to play this one quickly, there was an outside chance, or it didn't seem to be good at connecting with a teammate. But Aldeguer made some runs. And the reminder again, Taguig FC are down to 10 players. It's back to Quincy. The probing run from Bogas. Shimomura and Aspiras, may banggaan dun. Nur Hidayat still keeps it. Lovely stuff here from the Indonesian. Bogas. The Bisaya connection here from the two, Limbo and Bogas. As this ball was stopped, but it's still with Sendra. It's not out of the danger area, but a shot was taken and it's denied again by Camarad.
Quality mula dito kay Mark Hartman. Most players would take a touch, steady themselves. This one, he's taking a swipe at it right away. At medyo nagulat doon si Quincy Camarad, and he's hit it on target as well. Great attempt from Mark Hartman.
And he'll be taking the corner kick right here. It's going to be an in-swinger. They got a touch to it, but no good from Sendra. Well, here comes a change. It's Shimomura out and Groggy in. Groggy has seen a lot of starts in this season. But with this stacked squad, we saw again, completo sila. Grog on the bench. He could just give them that extra dimension in the attack.
What does this mean for the players on the pitch? Stefan Schrock looks like he's going to be settling into midfield. Hiraishi going to peel out wide. Grog going to take the opposite flank.
As there's the goal kick from Quincy Camarad. What a call here, going Taguig's way. Shraki with that looping ball. Now Otto, his parents did watch him play in their last game, and Hiraishi gave them a hat trick. Unfortunately, they had to fly out last week already and return home to Japan. And sits with Amita. Amita to Groggy. Groggy's cross got denied.
What a luxury to be able to take on, or take off your leading scorer and to put on Patrick Grog. Quality player. He's won a corner kick here.
It was Grog's father again who inspired him to play football. And he grew up in Switzerland. His mother, who's Filipina, was a Palarong Pambansa track and field athlete. That's where Groggy credits his speed. Very interesting. Bogas did recover an unsuccessful corner for 10-man Taguig.
Great ball.
Hartman still keeps it for them. Just a great technical player. Now assessing his options to throw in Aspiras. Tahir was there, a looping ball again, but Camarad secures. And he'll just try to organize things for them. I was quite surprised that he gave the ball all the way there, deep in the defending third.
It's about composure out there now on the pitch. With so many incidents taking place. It's about the team that can find a bit of calm, not let their emotions dictate how they play. United City need to understand that they have a man advantage now. As a team that wants to take possession of the game. They should be able to find an extra man at all times.
And Nukam, but it's no good again. But it's a corner kick from the signal here.
Natapik ni Quincy Camerad. Looked like it was going wide anyway, but Quincy Camerad not taking any chances. First real attempt mula kay Cherry Newcomb.
And it will go United's way once more.
Angle was against him. He's gotten the second best outcome here with a corner kick.
As close as it gets, and there's another goal here. And it's Ricky Sendra carrying on his fine form. He's just racked up all the goals in their last 3 games. And it's big time here for them, taking advantage of Taguig being down to 10 men. And he gives him a cool finish. UCFC fans loving it, and he wants to hear it.
He knows how to find the back of the net, Ricky Sendra, especially from a set piece, and it's a wonderful delivery from Hartman. Flicked on, and who's there at the far post? Ricky Sendra, ready to gobble it up. Slightest of flick-ons mula kay Clarino. Ricky Sendra, loving it.
Just left his defenders there. The businessman inking another deal.
Sabi mo nga sa'yo, yung currency nitong si Ricky Sendra is goals.
You said it, right? He does his business on the field. Saturday or weekends, those are business days for the businessman. No days off. Here comes a ball now from Shraki, hoping to answer back, but it rattled around inside the box. But Henry Bandikin got it. He'll try to manage his game at the least, but with the personnel advantage again. Who knows? Now Otto came oh so close here for them.
Took me a moment to pinpoint the man that Ricky Sendra was mimicking there with his celebration, but it's Juan Roman Riquelme. That's his celebration when he cups his ears like that. This a proud Argentinian throwing an ode to a legend of a player in midfield. Ricky Sendra doing the business again here for his side.
A very patriotic guy, of course, when we see him openly support Argentina, of course, his country, especially with ongoing tournaments such as the Copa America. As it's on to the left now. A numbers advantage for United City FC. Troy Limbo didn't appear to get a good touch there, but teamwork got the job done for their back line.
Sa sequence na yun, makikita mo kung kaano kadali para sa one Taguig. They can get the ball in the right spaces, be able to get in one-on-one situations. It's fantastic work here from Amita.
Nano with that knockout play. We've seen that before from him. But will it lead to another goal? Taninko just not afraid to body up, but eventually gives up a foul in a dangerous area. Up against Naoto.
Got sucked in, Claro. It was a good initial play right here. Then he's gotten wrong side of him. Needs to make up for it. Bit of youthful exuberance being taken advantage of.
We were talking about that earlier. You were saying that baptism of fire. All pro players here for sure have that welcome to the pro league moment when they decided to make that jump. All with unique stories. Madalas mga veterano, right, who are taking it to them. Here's the signal. Shraki delivers this one. He couldn't meet the legs of Grog. Pero corner kick down sa kabila naman. Last time, tandaan nga natin, it was a free kick. So this one now is a corner. On the right, we saw Shraki start the game on the left wing, but because Kevin Ingreso was sent off, he was shown the straight red card. Shraki has that free roaming role, especially in the middle of the midfield. Shraki sends this one in. But it's no good here for Taguig. But to those who just tuned in, Kevin Ingreso was shown a straight red card for complaining about a non-call for a possible penalty, and appeared to also swing his arms at the referee a bit.
Slight nudge.
Slight nudge, there you go.
Slight nudge
Not
on
swing it.
Yeah.
Right? Nudge, there you go. That's the perfect
That
word.
might be interpreted as he threw a slap or a punch at the referee. No, but it certainly made contact.
Nudge was the right word. Thank you, Jing. As we're just sorting things out also, apologies for the graphics. Kurt Dizon took a knack here. Everyone taking falls again, left and right, taking hits.
Not for the first time in this game that he's taken a hit from Stefan Schrock. Blessing and a curse sometimes being so tricky. Kurt Dizon quick to find a bit of room. He's taking the contact as the payment. Newcomb, hinahanap sana yung corner, hindi na ibigay.
Ariel in Newcomb, the lead man again for United. A no goal here, but it's been a team effort. United have been able to pull the strings together. It's a 2-1 lead again. Tsukasa Shimomura, he was the opener. Taguig led early on, but Troy Limbo just answered back in the 12th minute. But here, in the second half, Ricky Sendra again. Or it was Ricky Sendra who scored. That's how we find ourselves at the moment. A little over 20 minutes remaining in regulation until we head over to stoppage time. Claro Manzano here alongside Jing Ham Lang. It's United City FC currently with the ball in their black uniforms, playing from right to left. Taguig in their dark orange, playing from left to right. They're down to 10 players again. We're catching the games on pfl.org.ph, Blast TV, Premier Football, and Premier Sports. As Noridayat opted to switch it over. He couldn't find any options there on the left. No clean sheet here for the two goalkeepers. "20 minutes remaining here in this game." We spoke about the expectations, Jing. This one getting heated. My curveball dito. Ingreso got sent off. But Taher couldn't deal with this one. Things getting crazy. Or some chaos in the Taguig attacking third. As it's over to Hartman. Sendra to Bugas. Thought about it for a moment. Well, they'll just play it back given their advantage. Not just in the score, but in personnel again. But do you have any adjustment here, Jing, in the expectations of this game, or with what you've been noticing?
Well, United City have done well in settling themselves and also being able to utilize their man advantage. At ito na nga, nakuha nila yung goal nila, but more importantly than that, hindi sila masyado nagpapadala. At muntikan nila madagdagan yung scoreline dito. That should have been a third for them.
In Newcomb, inches away or half a step away. But Bugas gave a delightful ball, as we see.
It is a great ball. Mula kay Paulo Bugas. He's curled that one in behind the back line. Difficult to deal with. And for one Taguig, there might be a man down here, but they're certainly not out of it, especially with this man pulling the strings. On more than a few occasions, he's gotten the ball into threatening positions. Itong si Stefan Schrock. And with Andres Aldeguer up front, they have a very dangerous front man. But they need to do the simple things right. And right there, they've given the ball away.
Just doing the exact opposite there, unfortunately. Well, these guys could get gassed from having to work double time to make up for that disadvantage. But time will tell.
Yung kagandahan para sa Taguig, ang dami nilang players na pwede nilang bunutin. Andyan pa si Yannick Tuason. You still have El Habib, you've got Bahadora, and if you need him, there are players out there that can help you, especially for 10 to 15 minutes.
And we did see, of course, the joy, right, when Misak found the back of the goal. Who knows if his experience will be big, but you name it again with this very deep bench of Taguig and of Coach Giovanni as Aldeguer tried to take a shot, but it was blocked.
He's looked lively since coming on. Andres Aldeguer, best chance coming, his first kick of the match. Almost won a penalty. Had a header from a free kick. Now he's gotten a shot to earn a corner kick.
Noridaya just clamping him down, reducing the space. As it's another one from Shraki, a regular or the intended or corner kick taker. This one rattled around. The shot taken! So close, but not quite. A denial
Wow.
at the goal line.
Wow. Galliantes thought that net was going to bulge. He'd hit it perfectly. Zachary Taninko there to deny the equalizer.
Spectacular from the youngster. This is Hartman versus Groggy. Distributing. Bugas. Still Bugas trying to get to the middle. Inukam! Well, we saw it as already off target. It's been an off day here for him.
It's a quick transition mula sa United City. It created the scoring opportunity. They could really use a cushion here, Claro.
Taguig again need the win to keep their AFC hopes alive. But heading into this game, we mentioned already, it's a tough mathematical chance. But as long as you have a chance, being competitors, they're going to go for it no matter what. But a loss or draw here will take them out of that.
United City, of course, with their own agenda. They really want to make their intentions known, that they're going to be gunning for higher positions in the league and potentially to get back to title-winning form. And winning games like this, napaka-importante para sa kanila. They want to finish top 4 this season and getting a maximum points against a fellow rival, ay napakalaking bagay.
And let's remember, of course, that United did represent the Philippines also in the likes of the AFC Champions League in the years back. But here comes a counter-attack. Naoto Hiraishi getting past 3 to score here and level the scoreline. That's not a celebration. He's definitely down with cramps. He got past 3, got past 4. I lost count there. Do we count the keeper when he scores? Wow!
United City punished Hiraishi with a wonderful finish. A man down, no problem for Taguig.
3. Goalkeeper counts, that's 4. In a different context, of course.
You got to credit as well the run of Aldeguer to get the 2 center backs occupied. And they're wrong-footed there, a step late, and that's all that's needed for Hiraishi to take advantage. And not the celebration you want. There's a certain Patrick Reichelt who likes to joke around that he's an old man and that he's picked up the cramps after scoring. This one's actually legit.
That's why we knew from the get-go, after scoring, that's not a celebration. That's real cramps. And what he did. Sendra over to Ngokam. They're asking for the offside there. But Ziggy Taninko didn't have a problem. Custodio to Aldeguer. I was gonna say with that run, it's like they just set the game to beginner or rookie mode and just hit the sprint button. That's how Naoto Hiraishi just worked his magic.
Great finish from Hiraishi. And for United City, you have to be very frustrated.
Quincy punched this one out, but it's still with United. Groggy was there to cover along with Nano. As we do have a sub. Yannick Tuwasan, as expected, is entering the game. Because of the cramps, from the looks of it, Hiraishi is out. Big blow. You get someone to score a goal, get some confidence. Pero nagka-cramps, unfortunately.
Naoto Hiraishi, replaced by player number 11, Yannick Wasson.
Noor Hidayat, the diagonal ball, hoping to slice the defense.
I have to appreciate the confidence of Juan Taguig. A man down, but they're going for it, Claro. They're going for the 3 points.
Draw again here will not help them in their bid for second place and in hopes of getting that AFC spot. And actually, it is Cebu, right, who are... But it's almost gifted here. Some shaky handling at the back dito para sa Juan Taguig.
Taking some chances, that's for sure.
Clarino, furious there.
Miggy Clarino, no interest in backing down to nobody. Taking a bit of offense at Andres Aldeguer's actions.
From my interpretation, he seemed furious because he didn't touch him. At least this is the perspective of Clarino. Maybe he's believing, or he believes that there's a simulation, kaya nagalit. But let's look again here. Ooh!
He's gone for... He had eyes on the ball, Miggy Clarino. Definitely worth looking at one more time.
And it warrants a yellow. Shraki was definitely not happy there.
Sinasabi ni Miggy na maaring nasahod siya ng konti ni Aldeguer. Yan ang sinasabi niya, medyo na lumabas yung backside nitong si Andres Aldeguer. But certainly, eyes on the ball, but contact with the forearm to the head. Yellow card ang ibinigay dito kay Miggy Clarino.
So that's the verdict from what we saw in the replay. We have the benefit of replay again, right? The referees do not. But with the way things are going, we are expecting another sub for UCFC. You see him pictured down. It's Ivan Owano, an attacking option. He's been coming off the bench as of late. A regular option for Coach Ramon. Groggy to Aldeguer. He's got 2 defenders. Assessing his space. Back to Groggy. It's the 2 youngsters. Trying to shimmy his defenders. But Henry Bandekin gets this as expected.
Got a feeling that there's another goal in this game. 9 minutes to go. Game's so open now.
And from what we heard down on the ground, but this has to be confirmed, it looks like Ariel Ngukam will be subbed off. But that can be changed up until that point of substitution wherein the player steps onto the pitch. Like, as in past the sideline. When Ariel Ngukam brings it up desperately, but gets into a collision with Shraki. The two of them just bumping each other from what I saw. But Nano was also pleading his case.
Referee's gonna pull it back, saying Newcomb got clipped prior to his lunge that made contact with Schrock. So it's actually gonna stay with United City.
Here's another look. Exactly what you said right there. Banggaan between Ngukam and Shraki.
He's gonna come off here, Newcomb. You look at him as a player, you think he's always gonna be a threat for United City. But at some point, that potential needs to be converted into goals scored. And for Newcomb, he wasn't able to do the business. We'll see what changes will be made here. Or is it time for somebody else to get a chance? He certainly had his opportunities today. There's no doubt about that. Just wasn't able to take advantage.
So it's confirmed that what the referee raised. High five there between Ngukam and Shraki. You love the sportsmanship in the midst of the heat. So lalabasi Ariel Ngukam. And Ivan Oana will check in. And Kurt Dizon stepped off for Pete Forosuelo. This sub was made or initiated after we mentioned the change of Oano. So Oano an attacking option. Hartman the delivery. Groggy and Tuaso now trying to make a run for it, but Nur Hidayat is there. Taguig again down to 10 players because of that straight red card to Kevin Ingreso. Six minutes until additional time. This one in, still in according to the linesman. Limbo, trying to use his shiftiness. Nano to Shraki. He'll try to bring it out now and just get past that midfield given that they're at a disadvantage. It's 10 v 11. Back to Shraki, just running into Nur Hidayat. What a call here against the former Indonesia U22 international.
They're wary of being cut open on the transition, and rightly so. You saw there Stefan Schrock getting close to creating danger inside the half of United City. That's one of the reasons why they don't have enough shirts inside the box when they are attacking itong United City. Kaya naman kahit si Troy Limbo ay napupunta sa magandang posisyon, wala siyang mapasahan sa loob ng box.
As we just saw Tuason, unsuccessful. But it goes on now. The time continues to tick. We're geared up for an epic finish here with what we've seen. Intense action. It looks like the formation of Taguig has become a 4-4-1 of sorts. As Oano almost slipped past Custodio. He'll bring it up. Let's not forget, he used to be an attacking player before he was converted to a defender during the pandemic with the ADT. But it's a throw-in now for Taguig. Tuason taking it quickly. It rattled around. Aldeguer trying to hold it up for them. And gets it to Shraki in time. On the other side, Groggy takes it, but it was no good. From our angle, we saw it was no good. From the get-go, it seemed, but Groggy proving that fine to him here where he had some space.
One thing that Taguig have are players that can make a difference on their own and create their own chances. And Patrick Grog, Stefan Schrock, Andres Aldeguer showing as well that he's difficult to put in your pocket.
And here's a ball to the left to find Limbo. Pero offside down tawag dito. But with what you were saying, players with that individual skill, is that somewhat like the break glass in case of emergency?
Well, it's what you need at this point in time.
Close one here, Owano. Dispossessed Camarade. Quincy was handling it here.
They're playing with fire, one Taguig. It's not, on more than one occasion, it's been a bit scrappy at the back. That's great effort mula kay Ivan Wano.
Fresh legs for Coach Ramon Tribuliech.
No surprise. Quincy Camarada has waved his team forward here. We're going long.
Too much for or too close for comfort there, or Quincy. And there's a call here. Was it a potential handball with the way that ball was just bouncing around? But nonetheless, it's a foul that goes Taguig's way. UCFC had their dangerous spells, but Taguig somewhat with a resurgence in this game.
They're looking the more likely to score. And they're a man behind. One thing that you really want to avoid if you're United City are free kicks in dangerous areas with Stefan Schrock over the ball.
Schrocky, the slight hesitation, sends it in. His teammates couldn't connect though. It's a foot race to secure on the wing. Things getting chippy. Sigi Taninko is up against Eric Gallantes, and it's another one.
Opted to dribble out instead of secure the clearance. Got wrong side of the ball. Eric Gallantes using his smarts there. Put your body in between the marker and the ball. Now he's won a free kick. Minute to go.
With this makeshift setup, parang si Shraki na lang yung midfield. With numbers getting forward to attack. Some, of course, staying back, the defenders.
And what a luxury to have Stefan Schrock. His ability to take on a player and bypass him. It makes it seem like you don't need that extra man sometimes when you're progressing the ball.
Makes it look easy.
It certainly does.
But it's to all these teams need a win again. Or a draw or a loss will not be enough. Shraki. He assisted again the first goal of the gig. Well, there's another man down with cramps.
There's really no obligation from United City to stop the game. Unless, of course, a player is going to receive treatment, and it's up to the discretion of the referee there to stop the match.
There's fair play, as we know also. An unwritten rule.
But of course, McJohn Pineda not giving United City the choice there. He stopped the play.
That's right.
You see here, sa pagkabagsak ni Arnel Amita, kinarams na siya kaagad.
We hear of this thing, of course, the shock cramps after taking a tough hit or a tough fall. The player would get cramps.
Initially, he was thinking about staying on Arnel Amita, but there's been a second wave that's hit him. He's signaling that he needs to come off. So the stretcher has been brought onto the pitch.
So we'll definitely see some time on top of the 6 minutes of additional minutes, or some time on top of the 6 minutes of additional time, rather. But that's the discretion of the referee, as we know. That one is something players can't really control, teams can't control. It's all up to John Pineda, our ref.
Armita's still in some considerable pain as he's being stretchered off. At kaya naman papasok ngayon si Misak Bahadoran. Could he be the hero here? Para sa one Taguig, what a story that would be.
He's come up with those epic goals, especially during his prime in the UFL days. Epic goals too with the national team when they were the Yaskals. Fans refer to him as Lord Misag. Is he gonna work his magic here? A return to playing football again, right? He's been away from the game for some time.
Injuries doing a bit of damage to Bahadoran's career. It's great to see him back on the pitch, and if you need someone to make an impact, Misa Bahadoran, certainly a player capable of doing that.
This was the stadium where he made his debut too for the national team, but back when it was natural grass. Hartman, Nur Hidayat, there's Misag with his fresh legs. Aldeguer was also put in quite late in the game, as he don't seem to be happy with that play, Jing, but it's still with UCFC. Sandra on the left. Will he get them another one? Hartman, they just clamped him down because they know he's a very dangerous man. Tahir with the captain's armband. It stays with United. Sent in. Quincy playing safe and punching it out. It's Misak versus Taninko. Sandra, Hartman, the dangerous players for UCFC. But here comes Misag now, injecting some life into them. Aldeguer up against Clarino. They went at it again earlier. But there's a foul. It goes Clarino's way. He smiles there from Clarino.
Runs in the family. Clarinos are such gamers. They love a battle, and Miggy has enjoyed his.
Not just that, if they're at least gonna go down, they're gonna go down fighting, and they'll never step away from a challenge.
That's for sure. But there's some extra action here being taken by John Pineda.
And it's a yellow card. And that's Coach Giovanni Villagracia complaining about this. The call here was a foul against Andres Aldeguer in orange. This one wasn't secured. It's in a dangerous area.
Oof. Corner kick.
There's confirmation again on the card of Coach Giovanni. Well, you said it a while ago. I'm going to say it again. It's like Taguig are down to 10 men with the way they've been playing. There's Shraki, and then the changes that Coach Giovanni and company have been making. They're keeping them in this game.
Fantastic opportunity here, very late on.
Will it be Shraki magic again, or will United and their defense prevail? We'll find out. No good here, but there was definitely a number of collisions, or at least a collision in the box, but it was played quickly by Bandican. But here's the replay of that corner kick.
Hands on the goalkeeper. Kitang-kita mula kay Taher. It's a good call.
Outside is the call here. It will go with United's way, but we are past the 6th minute already. It's all up to John Pineda here on when to blow the full-time whistle Do we expect at least a minute, Jing, because of that stoppage earlier?
Well, ilang minuto ang kinailangan para mai-stretch her off si Arnel Amita. You'd expect at least 3 to 4.
And here comes that through ball. Camera at the office line. Aspiras. Hidayat. That was sent over to the other side. Taninko, he's got Sendra on the left. Hartman in the middle. Taninko. Gave it over to Sendra, given the pressure. Sendra! Cleared by Tahir, but this one just over to the side, throw in dito. Desperation time from both teams. Kevin Ingreso again was sent off here.
It's good work from Taninko there to create that opportunity para sa United City.
Aspiras. Groggy appeared to change this one up. Clarino couldn't get the job done there. That's why here's another chance for one Taguig. Groggy doing what he does best. Groggy, but it is no good. It was denied from the looks of it.
Big save from Henry Bandecken. Patrick Grog doing so well to run on his defender. There's a tight angle to work with, but he's won a corner kick.
He's won a corner kick, and Shraki will take it again. We've seen a hefty number of corners in this game already, especially for Taguig as of late. Shraki the corner, but it went over. That hits the roof. There's no goal there.
Might have been the last chance of the match. Yep, full-time whistle.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It ends level, a stalemate here between United City FC and one Taguig FC. 2 goals each here. What a treat. But because of this result, Taguig, unfortunately, cannot chase second place anymore. There was potentially some AFC competition implications there. We could say that Cebu are taking the second ticket now to the AFC Champions League 2. Well, there you go. We wrap up or run through our goal scorers. Tsukasa Shimomura scored in the 3rd minute, but Troy Limbo just answered back 9 minutes later. Ricky Sendra gave United a 2-1 lead. But Naoto Hiraishi just leveled things. We were expecting another goal, right? As we know, as there's a jersey swap between Nur Hidayat and Shraki. Game respect game, but it's the Japanese coming away as the goal scorers for one Taguig FC. He loved the sportsmanship here in the jersey swap that we are witnessing.
Respect from both teams, although both will be somewhat disappointed with the result. Both sides chasing maximum points and needed it in order to secure their own ambitions. But all things considered, Claro, you'd say it's a fair result, a very even game between 2 very game opponents.
Given again that this is the league format, we do have draws, no knockout matches here. Whoever emerges again as the #1 team will be outright champions. But again, these teams were out of championship contention, but are trying to finish their respective campaigns strong, as we will eventually honor our moment man of the match in this game. And almost saw everything, I would like to think. And it's only Saturday. We still have our matchups tomorrow. At the Rizal Memorial Stadium again, the same venue. But it's sure been a crazy Saturday.
It's what we expected. 4 goals, a treat of a contest, back and forth action, ascending off, physicality on the pitch, a great battle between these two sides, and a fantastic way to cap off Saturday's action. Sabi mo nga, no, may nakahanda pa para bukas. Potential title clinching matchup with Kaya in action kontra sa Davao. We're gonna see the action here. Yan, ang muntika na mula kay Andres Aldeguer to start off this second half, and Tsukasha also had a great opportunity. So many chances in this game, Claro.
Right, and just to see the huge implications in your red card kay Kevin Ingreso. Taguig could not leapfrog United City here. That would have been the case if they bagged the win, but UCFC sit above in the standings, but Taguig have a match on hand. As here is the goal, Ricky Sendra. You feel the passion, right? The passion of Sendra that you were talking about earlier. Ramdam natin dun. But that was a close call where Naoto came close. Hiraishi again scored what proved to be the last goal of the game and got cramps after doing so.
Newcomb almost scoring on that occasion. Aldeguer was a handful. And this one, a goal line clearance. Taninko. But this one, what a finish.
Naoto, Hiraishi. Just putting the game in beginner mode. That's the best way to describe it. But of course, he showed that it's not easy because he got cramps after. But everyone working double time for the crew of Coach Giovanni because they were down to 10 men.
And Grog showing he's dangerous. Came off the bench and made a difference.
This was a close one, Ching. Everyone said on the edge of their seats. Owano almost dispossessed, camera deep.
Can't get too casual at the back. Grog here pulling off a nice move, and it's a fantastic save from Henry Bandecken right at the death.
We are saying again, there's no Matt Silva for UCFC throughout the course or through majority of the season, but Bandecken was there again, a very reliable keeper. As you see Eric Gottschalk of UCFC, of course, just shaking hands with the different players and staff of Taguig FC. What do you love it at the end of the day? The sportsmanship between the squads.
A lot of jersey swaps. A lot of respect on the pitch, and you appreciate that despite how intense it got out there on the pitch. At marami tayong mga flare-ups na nakita sa larong ito. At the end, kamayan, palitan ng jersey, and appreciation para sa effort na ibinigay ng bawat
We are also closing in on interviewing our moment man of the match. They're just trying to get things sorted out at the back. Are we surprised here with our man of the match?
Well, we're going to see who it is, but he doesn't look like he's wearing a Taguig jersey. That's for sure. But when the team went down to 10 men, you could see him carry the team on his shoulders and continue to find to create danger for the opposition. Also bagged himself an assist and was all around influential. So I'm actually not surprised that this man is our man of the match.
Some high-level talent, high-level experience, as we know. He's been hobbled by injuries. There was that semi-retirement stage, I also recall, but this guy, I think, just can't resist the urge. We're not gonna say para surprise of sorts na lang, diba? Dito for the viewers. But it was great also to see the crowd at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. 10-man, one Taguig managed to salvage a draw versus United City FC. Quite a result. Also, if we take a look at games for tomorrow,
Of course, the big one is at 8:30. Kaya FC Iloilo taking on Davao Aguilas Yumac FC. Kung manalo doon ang Kaya FC Iloilo ay secured na ang
good title.
defense nila of the title. And
Back to back if that happens.
absolutely, and that comes after a big result in Cebu by Stallion. Kung babalikan natin yung pagkapanalo ng liga ng Kaya FC Iloilo last year, ganun din, no? Nabigyan sila ng konting pabor mula sa Stallion sa Cebu.
Similar script, right?
Oh, so parang nagiging rival na rin ang Stallion ng Cebu. And certainly ang pagbisita ng Stallion Laguna ay aabangan yan next year.
That's right. Mr. Tassi and Coach Ernie actually, even as early as 2022, declared, we are rivals, sabi daw. As we'll turn it over pitch side for our man of the match interview.
Tight game for both. It was very good, strategically, physically, high intensity. I think that's what the fans want to see, what the club owners want to see, and the players want to experience. So congratulations on both teams.
This season is about to end. What are your thoughts on your club's performances in the season? It's your first season in the PFL.
Yeah.
Have you reached your goals? Have you gotten a few expectations met this season?
The club itself is newly formed, as you said. We experienced so far no birth pains. Gino and Ace do an amazing job for us. For us players, it was about to find the first 11, first 12, 15 players that we will use or can use and build on. I think the coaches did a great job so far, and finishing in the top 4 is amazing for a newly formed club.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And there you go. Our moment man of the match is none other than Stefan Schrock with the way they just salvaged the draw despite being down to 10 men. But there you go, our calendar. Other than the main event of Kaya FC Iloilo in Davao Aguilas Yumac at 8:30 tomorrow, we do have our AFP Derby between Philippine Air Force FC and Philippine Army FC. These are much heated battles. They go back to the AFP Olympics, but there's also Maharlika Taguig FC and Medjola. Actually, rivals din sila when we look at it. Derbies talaga dito. Derby Sunday. But that does it right here for your Philippines Football League Saturday action. A big thank you in behalf of Direk Koyo Panko, our producers, floor directors, cameramen, technical crew, our of course, Clara Manzano here alongside Ching Ham Lang, saying a big thank you and good night. But we will catch you tomorrow.
on the ground, but I heard it's being jealous, cause I'm the right in their mind. In their mind.